Played a back three today, and sometimes when a team does that, they maybe sacrifice something in midfield. Looked to me early on like Arsenal got a lot of joy quite centrally. Was that something you spoke about before the game?
Yeah, they had been playing different formations, so we had to be on top of ourselves in the game plan and what it would mean for us in our press and how we could find spaces. So I think in the press and out of possession, the battle in midfield was going to be very important because both Chelsea and us are really strong on second balls in the middle of the pitch. So that was a battle that was happening. When we then controlled it and we had controlled possession, there was big spaces for us, which we exploited well, I think, with bringing one extra player into midfield, which we could find several times. And so I'm happy with how that went, how that played out, and how the players were intelligent on the pitch to find those spaces.
And obviously you have game plans, tactics, strategies and all of that, but in games like this as well, there's so much of a physical side, a will to win, players really putting their bodies on the line, not just in the penalty box, but stopping long balls coming out. How pleased were you with the kind of the less glamorous side, just the effort from Arsenal today?
Yeah, that's what I love about the performance. How we were willing to suffer from start to finish. We did that. We are two teams that like to come out fast in games, both Chelsea and us. I think we came out really strong today. And then it was about controlling the tempo and managing the game, especially second half with, of course, their game changes that they bring on, how they change formation. When the scoreboard changes, then there's so many things you have to think about on the pitch to make good decisions. And I think the players did that really well.
Okay. Hi Renee, congratulations. Obviously, before this match, you looked at the table, looked at the form of the teams, and probably looked at the team sheets as well. You guys only having 7 substitutes. This result is probably a surprise. But what does it show about your team that you were able to defy the odds, I suppose?
When the moment is there for this team, when it really, really, really has to happen, they do it every single time. So there's a lot of strength in this team in those moments. I think what was one of our strengths today was going into the game with a lot of clarity, and they kept that going during the game as well. I think they had very clear minds, which had them make good decisions and had them stay in the moment, focused on the task, and they did that so well.
And it looked like quite a special moment at the end with the travelling fans. From, I guess, an emotional and a morale perspective, what can this result and this day do for the rest of your season?
Yeah, so much. I think we obviously come off the back of 3 games with the win against Aston Villa, but didn't manage to win the 2 games against United, where we do a lot of good things. Just the final third, we couldn't score, and we have been working on that, and we brought that today to ourselves. So we've proven it to ourselves how composed we can be, how we can set up really good chances. Which wins us the game. So it's so well deserved to the players because they've been so invested, they've been so composed the last couple of days, very constructive, solution based, full of belief. And I'm also very happy for the fans because the fans want good performances and results, and I'm so happy that we could give that to them.
And just finally starting Stina up front and Russo sort of in the 10. Steen seemed to get behind a lot, and Russo was involved in both the goals from dropping deep. Did that kind of work exactly as he had hoped, that decision?
Yeah, no, very good. I think they both performed really well, and they put in so much work today as well, because Chelsea was quite direct in the way they played, so we had to connect back, and they had to run a lot of meters and make a lot of decisions. But yeah, I think every time we've played them together this season, they've been effective and it's played them to their strengths. You see that they change in their back line with Germa going central to manage Stina. That's my own analysis, which then meant something else. So there was also a late change in how we wanted to set up tactically, and the players did that so well.
Thanks.
Yeah, well done, Renee. It felt to me like you mentally bossed Chelsea after half-time. I don't know what your half-time team talk was like, but it felt like it was even Stevens at half-time. It could have gone either way, but you put your foot on the gas and just went for it in the second half.
Yeah, it's simple messages most of the time, because the players are in the middle of playing a football game at the very highest level, so we need to keep it simple. So it was about starting well in the second half, applying the details that we spoke about tactically, and then being ready for anything to change at any point, because they have really strong game changers, and they can change formation, so they had to be on top of everything, and that probably helped them going into the second half to be very, very on it, and they were, so I'm really happy.
And it felt like also Borba had one of her best games today. She was punching and catching the ball and everything. And her confidence must have been a little bit shaken by Wednesday when that one error gave away the game. So how do you build up a keeper like that? Because that's such an important thing, the mental side.
Yeah, like I said, after the United game, we make decisions together, so it's never an individual. So I've had good chats with Anneke after that game, but we haven't even spoken much about that moment. It was more about what she's doing for us right now, what she's doing at the moment, and what was going to be important leading into the Chelsea game. So we've been very much constructive and all together in every moment. But of course, you can imagine that plays in a player's head after that's happened. So the way she's dealt with it, so good. And then you have to go and play Chelsea away at Stamford Bridge, and she puts in this performance. So it's really impressive.
And the last one for me is just, it felt to me like you wanted it more. The Arsenal team wanted it more today. Russo was first to every ball. Little was there snapping at everyone's heels, etc. It sort of felt like the reverse of when you played Chelsea before.
Yeah, we wanted it very badly today, and that showed on the pitch. I'm very proud of that. I think we always wanted it against any team. We always wanted it against Chelsea. We played at Stamford Bridge last year and lost on a penalty late in game. 1-1 at the Emirates with some controversy, and we were determined today on what we wanted to do, and we had a lot of clarity. So, but then you still don't know how the game is going to play out, because it's two really good teams going against each other. But I was very calm and full of confidence going into the game, and I know that's the way I presented myself, which is always hard as well, because the game hasn't played yet. But that's really how I felt about going into this game with this group of players.
Thanks, well done again.
Behind the blue jacket.
Yeah. Another player who was absolutely fantastic today for Arsenal was Emily Fox, and I noticed how she was constantly pinning Sandra Baltimore down her flank and taking her on one-on-one. So just wanted to say, first of all, congratulations on the victory. But was that part of to what extent was that part of the genuine game plan to hurt Chelsea?
Yes, so we always look at how we can play our players to their strengths, and what opportunities we can exploit against opposition. So I think you've seen it right, that Emily Fox was often high and wide against their back line, which created spaces. So it was really good for me.
Behind you in the black coat.
Just wanted to ask, it's been so long since Arsenal have come to Stamford Bridge or to Kings Meadow and won. What do you think allowed you to hurt Chelsea in a way that this team hasn't been able to away from home before today?
I think the way, like I said, since the 2nd of January, since the players have come in, but also after the United game, the way the team responded and how constructive they were and how invested they were in everything, that gave me so much confidence going into this game. Plus, this is my 3rd game against Chelsea, and I made a commitment to myself on how I want to go into these types of games. So all those things together make me go into this game with a lot of respect, of course, and humility, but also with a lot of belief what we could achieve too.
And what were the things from a Chelsea point of view that you felt you were able to sort of get at and exploit today?
I think especially what we did with the ball, how we could exploit spaces against them and manipulate things. On the other side, they were direct, and every time they were direct and were getting in behind us or just on the outside of us, it was a big threat. So defensively, it's hard to play against Chelsea. You have to manage that really, really well, because they are quick to go in behind you, and then there's a lot of crosses coming in. But I think the way in an ideal world, we would have minimized those crosses even more. In our opinion, there was too many crosses coming in still, and it was leading to corners. I think we had 8-9 corners against us, which is always hard against Chelsea, but the players were comfortable with the uncomfortable, and they were suffering through those moments and doing absolutely everything and throwing bodies on the line to stop the shot or the cross. So yeah, the players, the investment wasn't it.
A couple more, Catherine.
Hi Renee. It felt like Beth Mead kind of epitomised maybe Arsenal's determination in this game, in terms of maybe she could have scored in the first half but kept going, got the goal and assists in the second, and it looked like it meant a lot to her as well.
Yeah, and of course it does, and it did for the whole team, because I think we all know, and the team knows, that we've been playing well. We've been doing a lot of things really well the last 3 games. It's just about the end product, and when that goal then comes, then of course there's a reaction of the player group, and because it's so well deserved. I think we got into areas in and around their box in the first half as well, couldn't get that clinical finish off, and just spoke about like even more composure in and around the box, be balanced, be strong in your finish, and I think both Beth and Mariona show that in their finishes.
Flo?
Hi Renee, just wanted to ask you about a moment in the second half where one of Chelsea's coaches went down the sideline to try and kind of communicate with the players. Was it one of your staff that alerted the fourth official to what that coach was doing, or was it one to check?
I have no idea. I was fully unaware of this event. I just saw that there was a yellow card for the Chelsea bench, but I have no idea what.
Thank you.
Sorry.
That's okay.
The last one, Tom at the back.
Hi Renee, congratulations on the victory. I just wanted to ask about Freedom Anna missing from the squad today. What was the reason for that?
Yeah, we're assessing it. She trained yesterday, and she got a ball on her head. She headed the ball and got a reaction to that. So we'll see. We didn't think it was appropriate to put her in the squad today. So we'll see how she is assessed today, tomorrow, and the next couple of days.
Thanks, Renee.
Thanks.
There, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.